we go any further in the meeting, I have a statement I'd like to read. Before we begin tonight's agenda, I want to take a moment to speak directly to our community about the incident that occurred on August 1st at the Regal Plaza. Many of you have seen the videos circulating online. The violence involving a group of people in that parking lot was shocking, senseless, and deeply disturbing. Watching it as our city's mayor, a longtime Simi resident, and a mother who raised her child in this community was heartbreaking. I want to thank the Simi Valley Police Department for their swift response. Please give me the respect to read my statement. Thank you. As of today, 4 juvenile suspects have been identified and arrested for battery. The investigation remains active, and as additional information comes to light, more suspects may be identified and further charges might be filed. Over the weekend, I was in regular contact with Chief Shorts, who assured me and all of us that the Simi Valley Police Department will continue this investigation with integrity, professionalism, and transparency within the bounds of the law. Additionally, PD is working closely with the Ventura County District Attorney's Office to ensure that those responsible are held accountable. I know this incident has left many in our community feeling angry, shaken, and deeply saddened. I feel the same. Let me be clear, violence and intimidation have no place in Simi Valley. We will not tolerate actions that threaten the safety, dignity, or well-being of anyone who lives, works, or visits here. As a community, we must stand together against hate, against fear, and against the kind of behavior that strips others of their sense of safety. If you have information that may help the investigation, I urge you to contact the Simi Valley Police Department. If you have questions or information, please contact Sergeant Rick Morton at 805-583-6950. We are committed to ensuring justice is served and to doing the work necessary to ensure our safety is in our community, and I just want to thank you all for being courteous. Thank you. Are there any items for agenda review?
There are not, Madam Mayor.
Is allotted for public statements for a period of no more than 2 minutes. The first 3 speakers.
Hello, my name is Lana Zukovsky. I am a Simi Valley resident. I was here last week in support of law enforcement, but today I am ashamed of the Simi Valley Police Department. What I saw on social media broke my heart. A gang of teens viciously beating a black boy and screaming the N-word as they brutally punched and kicked him. They hit him with a chair and they put him into a trash can. This is unacceptable. Jonah Collado is Officer Collado's son, and according to the video, he thinks he's protected by the Simi Valley Police Department. He's on camera leaning on a police cruiser that same night, saying it's a joke. 2 of the boys have criminal records. Why were these hooligans not arrested immediately? Why did it take 2 days to arrest them? I plead with you to urge the DA to file hate crime charges. Also, I want to say that this behavior is learned at home. Sergeant Collado, shame on you.
Please keep the clapping to a minimum so that the speaker has all of their time. Thank you.
Please, guys, urge the Ventura County District Attorney to file hate crime charges. He does not have a good record of filing hate crime or attaching hate crime charges to violent incidents. I will give you one example. A gentleman by the name of Paul was murdered on the corner of Westlake Boulevard and Thousand Oaks about 2 years ago by a gentleman who screamed pro-Palestine and hit him in the head with a megaphone. The DA was assuring our community that he was going to attach hate crime charges, which he did not. I do not want to see this happen again. Hate crime charges need to be put on these individuals. I will not use the word people or gentlemen. And as I said, parenting starts at home. This is a learned behavior.
Hi, my name is Abigail, and I'm here to speak on the incident that happened on August 1st. I'm extremely disappointed in the Simi Valley Police Department on this matter for their lack of urgency and their extreme leniency. It's really disheartening and shameful. Officer Collado also needs to be held accountable as he has failed as a father for Jonah and failed as a protector for the community. As for the aggressors, they have put themselves in a position where they have limited opportunities to redeem themselves. To the figures with actual authority, get these aggressors off the streets, as they've proven to be nothing but unremorseful. And if you give them the opportunity to be on the street again, then they will reoffend. And this is a hate crime. They should be persecuted and charged with a hate crime, because this is just unacceptable. In the reports, context needs to be given and not sugarcoated. Lying by omission is still lying. And I'm asking for transparency, and I'm asking for action to be taken, and I'm not asking for excuses. Because at the end of the day, this should be a simple actions have consequences, but where are the consequences? For Michael and the other victims, I hope you get the justice that you deserve. This will never be okay. And I'm here with you. If anybody here needs anything, then just reach out to me. I have nothing further to say. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Erica Ayala, and I'm a proud community member here of Simi Valley. I've worked here in the area recently. I had the opportunity to be up here to get some recognition for some continued work I'd be doing in the city. I'm actually currently packing my boxes right now to move into Simi Valley from the San Fernando Valley. This situation that happened last weekend was not okay. Not just for a little boy, but for every mother that fears their kids leaving their doors at any given time. I'm not here to talk about the disappointment, because this happens in every city. And it happens with anyone that's of a different color. I'm here to be part of the change, and I'm here to ask the city council to be part of that as well. Bring diversification, bring the resources that this community needs to be part of the change. We do not do this work alone, we do it together. And we need to join forces, create the processes, because if the parents aren't doing it, then the schools need to do it, the city needs to do it, the parks need to do it. Other people need to step in and give them the different shade of light that is needed for them to see different. So I'm here to ask the city today to make that part of their mission. If you are going to be entering the next year, to make that be what you go on, be part of the change, be part of the resolution here. Thank you for your time.
Good evening. My name is Dexter. I am the founding director of a Ventura County organization called Project 50. We advocate for the Black community. I want to make something clear before I start speaking, is that the family in this situation has not contacted us directly. But as I said, we advocate for the Black community. And I am here to let the city of Simi Valley know that this will not be tolerated. And I want to echo the same things that the previous people have said. My time I want to give talking about racism and racist. Racism is taught in the home. So whoever the parents of these kids are, you are raising them that way. And I'm telling you that reason because I have kids of my own. They will not dare say some shit like this or get involved in it. So that's where racism starts, in the home. We're not tricking anybody. So at the age of these kids, it's embedded in them. It runs through their veins, the hatred and the racism. And let me tell you about racists. What we saw in that video was exactly how racists act. They always come in groups. They're too chicken shit to fight by themselves. How many Black people do you want us to bring to Simi Valley to make this fair? And what we saw on that video is strictly a hate crime. And Ventura County has limitations and laws and rules around hate crimes. This one qualifies as one. So if it's not a hate crime filed, you're not doing your job. And we don't want to hear those excuses in that conversation about working with the PD. Let's see it happen.
Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you, sir.
Hi, good evening, council. My name is Larkin Greeting. I have been a resident of Simi Valley for 22 years now. And as a member of this community, I'm very, very concerned of the safety of all other kids and adults in the area. As of right now, 3 of the attackers responsible for the hate crime, which it is a hate crime, no one can tell me different. Only 1 have been cited and released while letting others that were responsible get away. We have videos from multiple angles, videos of them saying that they would do it again, along with other threats of violence. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm terrified for my peers and angry for the victims in this situation. Why is one of the attackers' dads a cop on the force, and why has he had no repercussions so far when he has a history of this harassment and deplorable behavior? Hayden Davey, Maddox Westfall, Harper Trejos, Nathan Elkins, Jonah Collado, the son of the cop on your police department who has said he would do it again, all of the attackers, none of which has been arrested again. They have smashed kids' heads into the concrete multiple times, spewing racist remarks and saying they rule the town. And you have done nothing but support that comment by allowing these violent criminals loose. In the videos, it clearly shows that it was a 1 versus 9 kids, which the group of kids started. We demand transparency and justice. What will you do to address this wrongdoing? Thank you.
My name's Tara Garner. I've lived in this community my whole life, and I wish to stand here today to say that I feel safe and that I trust the people that were sworn to protect us, but I don't. Because I've lived through what happens when they look the other way. We're here because a young black man was violently attacked by a group of white teens, and one of them is the son of a cop. And what did they get? A citation for battery investigation. That's it. Not even handcuffs, not even a night in jail, just a piece of paper. And a reminder that if you're connected, you're protected. I know this because I've been there. When I was 17, I was mob bullied and stalked. My home was vandalized over and over again. They spray painted my car with 187, death threat. They slashed my tires, keyed my vehicle, poured mustard and ketchup all over my mother's vehicle, and then wrote F you Tara on the walls of my home. We called the police. We gave them everything, photos, video footage, names, and still they did nothing. Until the day one of them lit an explosive and threw it under the motorhome that I was standing in. I thought I was going to die. We called the police again and again. They did nothing because the suspect denied it. It wasn't until my dad said that he was taking it to the city council that the police started to act. Not because they cared about justice, but because they cared about saving face. A sergeant promised felony charges, but in the end, it was a slap on the wrist. Not attempted murder, not even close.
Miss, your time is now up. Thank
This
you.
breaks my heart.
Miss, your time
as law
is up,
enforcement
please.
picks and chooses where
Please
justice
be respectful.
belongs.
Everyone else did. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, members of council, my name is Jamie Sanchez. I'm here today as a concerned member of our community to bring attention to a deeply troubling incident involving racial profiling that occurred right in our city. I have lived here all my life. I have served my country as a Navy veteran. This is, as much as I want to read what I have, I am very distraught. My son is extremely close to the victim that this happened to. This isn't an isolated case. It reflects a broader pattern that too many people of color experience daily, being viewed with suspicious, treated differently, or targeted simply for existing in a public space. That is not acceptable. I'm asking this council to do more than just acknowledge what happened. I'm asking for transparency and how these situations are investigated, for public data on racial profiling complaints, and for real training that addresses the root causes of bias in our institutions. We cannot fix what we refuse to name, and we cannot move forward as a truly united community unless we are willing to face the hard truths. I hope today is a step in that direction. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Jerry Jossel, and I'm here to speak about racially motivated attack that happened to my best friend. I've been with him through this whole process, and it hurts to see the kind of hurtful people to turn out to be. He was chased down, jumped, and mocked for the color of his skin. This wasn't a fight, it was a hate-driven attack, and it happened right here in our city. What makes it worse is that the people involved are now lying about what happened. Instead of taking responsibility, they're trying to protect themselves. That's not just dishonest, it's dangerous. Those kids should be prosecuted, and Michael Robinson should be able to get the justice he deserves. These kids' parents should discipline their kids because those kids learn the behavior from their parents, and these parents should do better. When we ignore or excuse this kind of behavior, we're sending a message that racism is allowed to exist in our community. We can't let that happen. I'm asking this council to speak out and take better action and make it clear that hate has no place in this city. My friend deserves justice. Every person of color in this community deserves to feel safe. Thank you for your time.
Hello, I'm Caden Kelsey. I'm an unhoused resident of Simi Valley. I have been harassed by these juveniles as well, and it is sad to see the fact that the police department failed to handle my case, and something like what happened to Michael could have been prevented if the law enforcement in this town handled my case the way that they should have and held these juveniles accountable to their actions. I am not the first, and sadly, I was not the last that these children have harassed. It got to the point where they have assaulted myself, my home, and my service animal, to the point where I had to retire my service animal at 3 years old. I don't have him here with me today because he can't do his job because of these animals. The police department, several times when I had continued to be harassed after this incident, these juveniles gang stalked me at my work, and they also threatened my life several instances afterwards. I brought it to the police department's attention on multiple occasions. I was told that they were involved in something bigger and they didn't need to obtain their names because they knew who they were. They also told me that These kids are all bark and no bite. They're bite now, aren't they? So if the police department did their jobs, none of this would have happened. And it is sad to say that this has been going on for years. And I am terrified that I will continue to be harassed by having the courage to speak up. Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Okay, please. I'm going to ask you all to keep your clapping to a minimum again. I know there's a lot of people here that are agreeing with a lot of what's being said, and that's fine. But every time you clap, it kind of takes up more time, and we'd like to make sure everyone has their opportunity to speak in peace. Please be quiet in the back so our next speaker can move forward. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Manager, and City Council members. My name is Michelle Liddell. I am a Simi Valley resident, business owner, and the 2025 Chairman of the official visitors from a local campus. Thank you for
on City Council. It is with this
And Anthony Eason.
Mayor Kavanaugh and City Council. It is with disappointment that I must remind this council that many times I've reported the hate in Simi Valley with copies of inflammatory posts, memes, and comments, even by acquaintances of this council, the Simi Valley Police Foundation and Simi Valley Police Department. And I point out Peter Karubi, who is on the Simi Valley Police Foundation board and was somehow the Volunteer of the Year for Simi Valley. Yet I can think of no more individual in this community who has expressed rage and hate towards some disenfranchised in our community. Also, I've mentioned TJ McInturf and the Simi Valley Community Forum No Rules Simi Strong page, the most hate toxic group in Simi Valley. And of course, no action, no replies to emails or public statements. As I mentioned at the last council meeting, Simi Valley has a reputation problem that has been earned over the years and certainly still exists today. I can only ask for an independent investigation that is transparent and accountable to the residents of Simi Valley, especially with the video with a youth parading around a Simi Valley PD patrol car. This I'll try to make quick. At the July 21st Simi Council meeting, tensions did indeed run high in the council chambers between the anti-ICE and pro-ICE protesters. However, after the initial 10 public statements, the agenda was to move on to 2 public hearings, which clearly would have diffused the stir in the chambers. As some were leaving, one woman yelled, "Go back to your trash country." The gentleman responded, "I'm an American citizen and I live here." The woman, who also caused a commotion outside the city hall before the meeting, continued to be a disruption. There were 8 Simi Valley PD officers present in the chambers. A couple came to her. Instead of removing her, the Simi Valley PD stood there talking to her. Mayor Kavanaugh then decided to clear the chambers, requiring 300 people to exit, which
Mr.
was a
Lapper,
larger
your time is
disruption.
now up. Thank you.
Why did the Simi
Thank you.
Valley PD not remove her?
Hello, my name is Joseph Alfano, and I was raised in Simi Valley. I was at the last city council meeting. I'm here to speak to you, the city council, and more importantly, the people that elect you. Most of us are here because a hate crime was delivered a citation. That's unacceptable and racist, but let's be honest, at least through my entire 32-year-old life, the performance of this entire city government has been unacceptable and racist. Mike Judge here is famous for his antics online from 2020. You want to Google it, Septic Tank, Mike Judge, it's a fun one. They have a reputation for a reason. When the police protect their own and their racist kids aren't punished, the folks on this council in front of you are responsible for their accountability. In the end, we demand it because, in the end, the people who are accountable for this are you, city council. The tide of justice might be slow. You might be elected for 20 years before it catches up to you, but at the very least, your legacy will remember you as for what you didn't do.
Okay, we've asked multiple times to keep the applause down. Please do that. I don't want to have to empty the chambers like we did at the last meeting. So we're not afraid. I'm not going to respond to the comments from the public. We're here to listen to you, to take your turns. Please be polite to everybody else. Thank you. Young man, you're first.
Hello, my name is Austin Maina, and just hearing about what happened at Regal sounded like something that was 100 years ago, but it happened 3 days ago. I deserve to feel safe in my city. Mike was just a friend of mine. This could have happened to me. And all those thugs, Jonah Collado, Hayden Davey, Maddox Westfall, Nathan Elkins, and Harper Trejos were let to go freely. Had they been black, they might have been shot or arrested instantly. Those boys committed a hate crime. One of the worst ones I've ever witnessed in my life. And they were allowed to go freely. And then you have the police make a statement, a lie, saying they arrested 4 juveniles. They only cited 3, and they were let go freely right away. And they turned themselves in. And Jonah Collado, the son of Officer Collado, is allowed to just go freely. And he said he would do it again. He has no remorse. Absolutely none. Those boys, I wouldn't even call them boys. They're thugs. They're monsters. Evil. Such evil people. And I can't believe we have the city just not protect us. No justice. Sad.
May we have the next speaker, please?
Hello, my name is Avery Estelle, and I'm the president of Simi Valley High School's Black Student Union, and an alum of Township and Valley View. Throughout my schooling in Simi, I have been a victim of racial prejudice, racism by some of the same perpetrators, Maddox Westfall, Hayden Davey, Jonah Collado, Nathan Elkins, that a young Black student named Michael Robinson faced last Friday. Chief Charles Stephen Shorts, an acting sergeant-at-arms, racism is an ever-present and especially present in the town of Simi Valley. Hate crimes cannot continue to be swept under the rug. On behalf of the Black student body of Simi Valley, we demand justice for Michael Robinson and every other person who has been victimized by this mob of white, privileged men with access to the same system in charge of prosecuting them and protecting their victims. In blatant reality, if the circumstances of these events were switched, if one white child running for his life from a mob of Black men had been chased, beat, and spewed racial slurs at, and that had been recorded, this town would be on fire. Charges need to be filed, arrests need to be made, and no young Black man would be safe or protected in his own by officers if it was his doing. A hate crime is defined by the Department of Justice as a crime motivated by bias against race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender, gender identity, or disability. This was a hate crime, a crime motivated by bias against race. Emmett Till's mother left the casket open to let the world see what they did to his boy, her boy. The world has seen what they've done to this boy, and we now demand action. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were both civil rights pioneers for very different ways. Choose which one you want. The casket is open. It's your move.